Hello, this is Vulturefire, and I'm gonna try and go for Frostbite Raodan. So I've been maintaining, now that I have a win with every character, there are a few decks that I would like to see people pull out wins for with D4S3. Zebo took care of getting a burn win with Neema, so that's off the table. I'm too much of a coward to go for Frostbite, which is Burn and Frostbite. I don't think that's a good deck. But Frostbite, maybe we can do something with Frostbite. The advantage of Frostbite, right, is Frostbite gives you, lets you just lean into Frost, which is just very good. And you can play Raodan, who's just pretty great. So I'm going to count on those two things combined being enough to hopefully get me through this. So I haven't tried to play Frostbite Raodan into D4S3. I'm going to change the list up some. I had been running a few cards that I don't think I necessarily want here. One of the questions here is, of course, like, how much defense do I want? I think I do want a Death Field. I do think I want... So we've got two Frost Novas. So as Frostbite stuff goes, there's not actually that much in the starting list, right? You've got Barrier of Frost. Like, Hypothermia is just worse than Frost Nova if you're playing Raodan. You've got... Visions of Frost, which isn't even Frostbite. Like, you have a lot of straight Frost cards, but like as far as Frostbite itself goes, it is literally Frost Nova and Glacial Stare are like the cards, and then Barrier Frost is fine, and there's a sharp drop off to Hypothermia or Frostfire. So, Rites of Winter is okay. One of the reasons to keep Haunted Memories is because it will help us strip away Purity. Which is a major concern. However, I think I would rather have Toxic Cloud because I think we want the extra AoE stuff that it will give us. Aside from that, Keen Contemplation does give us access to Adept. I would really appreciate like an Arcane card, but I'm not sure which one it would be. I'm not a huge fan of Entreat Calamity. Right now we've got Pierce as like our only real damage source, which is a bit sketch. We probably want a Transform option. Let's cut that and go Reforge. We are at 13 out of 12, which I don't love, but... I could see cutting the Mana Jolt for a Creative Outburst, because I think the flexibility on that is incredibly good. Part of it does come down to just like how much do I think Barrier Frost is important in the starting list. I do think I'm going to need a second damaging card, but I feel like even with the Toxic Cloud, like we don't have enough AoE, we don't have enough damage. I don't think the Pierce is going to cut it on its own. To that end, I think Rites of Winter would be my go-to pick. Or Void Infusion. Void Infusion has some flaws, but it's very good when it works. The question is just, can we make it work? I'm going to take it. And we'll just hope it works out. As far as the card pool goes, I think we're going to start fresh. Decreasing mana, I don't think we want. Mana Eruption seems fine. Mana Cycle seems okay. Frenzied Ritual obviously is on theme. Divine Wind seems good. This doesn't seem like a Legendary Strike deck, and I think we want one of the two. We could go self-stat. I guess we do have some amount of self-status automatically from the Frost Nova, huh? So, one thing I could do is get a Distill Elements in here. The Chilling Focus is awkward at the start of the run. Like, it can become good later, but it is awkward early in a run. And so we get a Chilling Focus. We can also get a Like, Frozen Height is also pretty good. Comes down to, like, finding space for all of this. I don't want to cut the Visions of Frost. I think having the Visions of Frost is very good. I don't want to drop a mana card, though, is the problem. And I think we need the other pieces. I guess we can maybe cut Void Infusion and just hope that the Pierce and the Toxic Cloud whatever is enough. That sounds risky, but... I would like Frozen Solid, but I don't think... Probably like Raodan doesn't create trash cards to transform as much. Which is why I went with the Reforge instead. So we have Distill Elements, then we can have like a Phase Grace, which does cost us, which like does make the deck bigger, but it kind of replaces itself, so I think it's fine. And then we want the Mana Jolt back, I think. I think we just cut the other Chilling Focus. Alright, we'll see how that goes. The point being, we run Tidal Ebb. We run Descent into Madness. I'm deciding if I want... I think I want Descent. I think we can deal with Exploding, potentially, and it does a lot of work. This is borderline, right? Because we don't directly have a use for Powerful in the starting list as much, but it's the sort of thing that feels very easy to find value for. I think Flash Freeze is bad in D4S3 because it just falls off so hard later. Actually, this does get scaled by boosts. Frost Fracture seems potentially okay. We'll try it. I don't actually know if that's going to end up being something we want to keep, but kind of just throwing in cards that I know are good. And we will sort it out once I get done putting cards in. I think Descent goes just because, like, I don't trust as much as the other cards. I think Mana Cycle requires more thinking. I could absolutely see cutting the Imbue Elements for something else. Like Sanctity, I do like a lot. Defensive Smithing isn't bad. You're not going to end up with anywhere near enough upgrades. Oh, we want Blizzard, actually, I think. Not even just because it's the Frostbite source, but just because it's like a ton of value. Elemental Complex also seems potentially very good for us. I think like Elemental Complex more than Frost Fracture, which is like they're not really the same card, but they're not really comparable. But I think I like the one more than the other, so that's what we're going with. As for other cards, Icy Chains is great. Icy Concentration is good. Icy Revelry is fine. Ice, Ice, Ice. Tyrannical Focus seems potentially good. I don't know that we're going to be able to set that up. I mean, it has a lot of options that are good. I don't think we need Mental Growth because we are Raodan. Binding Cold is changing in the next patch to be more damage. I think right now it's a bit low on damage, but we'll still take it. I want AoE Arcane, which we will find eventually. Sprite Defense is usually good. And actually get it. Oh, we want Absorb Elements. We want Elemental Refraction. And we do want Forbidden Crystal. We do want that's kind of sketch, but we'll try it. Because this has changed, and I want to see if the new version is any good for us. I think Blazing Ritual is good. Arcane Nova is good. Sanctuary is great. Enchant Armor is fine. Mystical Torrent's amazing. I don't think this is Ritual of Runes deck. I could be wrong. We probably actually want Ultimatum now that I'm thinking about it. But Ultimatum is another epic, and we are kind of full up on those. And I want to try new things. Yeah, I don't think we're spiking high enough to play that. See what Frostbite cards. I would take more Frost Novas, I think. Like, there's just kind of a lack of other options. That's good. That seems good. I forgot that that's not a thing. That seems fine. Oh, right. We just didn't add Glacial Touch. I don't know that we want Frostbite Barrier. We definitely want Glacial Touch. What am I kind of for Glacial Touch? The Elemental Tide, I guess. My self-status is a relatively minor part of our operation, so. Arcane Visions seems fine. Okay. This is more or less a deck. We'll see what we can do. Alright. So there isn't really anything in Ether Plains. There are a couple Frost enemies in Crystal Valley. No on the Idol of Emptiness. This makes for a very challenging run, I think, overall, but we'll see how it goes. Conquest and Dread seem nightmarish. Dread in particular seems like run ender, but we'll see if we get there. This whole run seems like we're going to try against these idols. If this fails, we'll just, especially if it fails early, I will just swap idols and try and do this with like a reasonable set. That's not really going to do anything for us. We'll take that. Okay, we don't have any Frost Elementals, which would be like the main card that we could get. But Mystic Renewal is pretty fine, and both those are okay. So at that point, the question becomes like, we can get extra idol rewards if we go there, or we can get like Dread Blast is very good. We can't force a Dread Blast, but Mana Dance is also very good, and so like I think there's enough options here that I am game for that plan. I don't know why I did that way. That was kind of dumb of me. In my head, I have pocket cards, because I'm used to it, having pocket cards, but this time I do not. Okay. Yeah, even without the evasion doing anything, we still get 5 from whatever. And there's like 10 damage coming out from the whatever, which is pretty good. Alright. Overall going pretty well, although there are no idols active in this fight, so that does skew things a bit, but still, I'll take it. That seems good. Upgrading these is very good eventually. I don't think we need to upgrade them quite yet, though. I think for right now, I kind of upgrade that. I kind of upgrade this. Yeah, we don't want to consume more Frostbite. We can't afford to do that. I think we're just going to get the Death Field up because it does a lot to help us with cleansing. I'm not actually decided where I'm going here. Because if we go here, we can get like Mana Font and Delayed Burst, both of which are pretty good. Sticky Thoughts is also incredible a lot of the time. Sparklight Focus is pretty meh for us. But we get another shot of Dread Blast up here, and we can potentially force a reroll on it if we want to. And we get a lot. We get extra event. If we go this way, we're probably committing to going here. Shadow Blast is pretty good, though. That fight could be nightmarish. The good news here is like Cruelty is not lined up with Vok, and like Corruption of Impulse or Cruelty Vok are both like if the others are swapped here, this is much harder because this is already shock focused. So like adding more shock to Impulse or adding more Curse to Curse and Arcane to Knowledge. Those are both much harder versions. So I think ultimately I like the card options from going this direction slightly more. This gives us 2 shots of Dread Blast. Again, would really like to have a copy of. So. And yeah, drawing that was aggressive. Nice thing here is we do get to heal back because we have that one thing. Alright. Cruelty didn't need to be a jerk, but it's not really a huge deal. So I think we're freezing you. And we're doing that to give it more Frostbite. Yeah. It's a little unfortunate, but it's fine. Yeah, Toxic Cloud is doing pretty good work for us. Even if we aren't getting much out of the, we don't have much growth yet. And Dread Blast, again, like, is going to help us so much with getting growth really going. We can't freeze that guy out. We can freeze that one out. Fortunately, the best we can do is get closer to freezing that. Most likely we're just going to kill that off of Leech and Frostbite, which is fine. That's kind of one of the advantages of the deck, is that we do have that as an option for ending fights. Yeah, because now it'll just die to whatever. But I don't want to play either of those. I would rather just get whatever out. Leech kill. It's fine. And Leech providing that little bit of healing does make it very good for these early fights. And here we can just triple cleanse, just get rid of some problems. We are very cursed. I would like to be less cursed. Boop. And then like we can drop here so we get the kill. Yep. And there's Pierce, and that is a kill. Not bad. I have played a lot of this difficulty at this point, and as far as depth whatever runs go, that's pretty good. I think that's a little risky. Just take that. As far as upgrades go, I want to upgrade that Dread Cloud, but we didn't get offered it, so I can't upgrade it. Pierce Plus, I think, will help with the boss fight. Because they scale up Frost pretty quick. These guys, less useful here, but it's not worthless here, just much less good. Just add shield. Actually, now we can take a little bit of damage here because we have whatever. Alright. We get this pretty big advantage here of being able to finish my sentences. Of not having to deal with, well, potentially I say that. We could just draw into the stone here, but we didn't. So, cleanse doesn't do much for us. I think we freeze you. I think we do that. Because does at least get rid of the cleanse didn't do much for us, but does at least get rid of whatever. We do unfortunately not have a leech, so we are going to take some actual hits here. And cruelty here to pile on the extra pain as a dream. Seems like it's time as any to do that. So we get the extra mana for next turn. Pretty safe. Alright. One problem left. And any of our damaging cards will kill it. So. That does not count. We only need to create like one more card. Actually, that should do it on... No, because we do need a little more damage, but there we go. Alright. Essence Step is not bad. Arcane Nova, though, seems very good. It's one of the cards I actually was most looking to see. Because giving us an art... I would have preferred to see the other one. That I am forgetting the name of right now, but I will take it. Yeah, that was kind of a waste of the first freeze, but I don't know, I think that was pretty justifiably used. Yeah, that's what I was saying, like, we just get so much damage out of whatever. I don't want to risk losing the Arcane Nova, although maybe that's a little too aggressive. I guess the Toxic Cloud is really the bigger... Oh, we already used Toxic Cloud once, but we can use it again. So, we don't get the weak, but we do get the other effect. We can do that. Unfortunately, we are getting hit twice, or yeah, for 2 turns here, and we just have to hope that they don't. Okay, yeah, that's hopefully okay. Hey. Not that we needed the extra evasion, but... Maybe we should consider doing whatever instead, but... Let me just do that. Cleanse is appreciated, of course. Just do that. I think this should be lethal, actually. Yep. This is a bit weaker when we don't have, when we're playing Raodan, just because we can't guarantee that this will they'll have targets for this. It's still very good. We can't also just like start feeding it cards and assume that things will work out. This is also just kind of a fantastic way to do a bunch of damage. I do like the flexibility of Elemental Complex though. Oh, but it upgrades to be 8 mana. I don't think we want to do that. We don't have that much spare mana. We'd love to have that much spare mana, but we do not right now. Arcane Nova is not a bad upgrade. I think I'm on Reforge or Toxic Cloud. Toxic Cloud getting cheaper is good. Reforge being just... let's take Reforge. Don't really want to remove anything just yet. It gives me a reroll token so I can force out Dread Cloud. If we die trying to get Dread Cloud, I stand by every decision I made. No, no, and no. Told you that card's gas. don't know why I bothered doing that, because like, we can't use any of it. Yes, we didn't get as much value as I wanted, but like we just effectively locked them out of a turn, which certainly not a bad way to spend a turn, I would say. Even if it didn't have quite as much total impact as I would like. Also, yeah, this is not great for us, especially with the we don't have whatever. Yeah, because now we just whomped, and there's nothing we can do about it. Although, that makes life easier. Okay, good luck. Let's hope and draw into Reforge. I think that makes sense. You're eating so much damage here, but like there's not a ton I can do, I think. We just kind of have to get out of this hellscape before it's completely over for us. That means just trying to get kills desperately as best we can. $50-50. No luck. We can't even play that without exploding. And getting that out of the deck makes sense. Yeah, this is not good. We may die. We do at least have one down, but like, oh boy, that terrible trash turn was not good for us. I think if we can stop them from summoning, we have a chance. It's gonna suck, but we have a chance. Fuck. I take back everything I said. This fight sucks a lot. But then how do I actually win? How do I avoid dying, rather? I don't know the answer to that. That's not enough. Okay, we're gonna have to restart this. Because I don't think we have any, like, we don't even, like, have a shot there for an evade chance. Okay, well that hurt. Unsurprising. Really, it was that second turn that killed us. It was that they all put in trash on turn 2. And at that point, like, we were just fucked. Because that completely destroyed our second turn. I think I am going to do this. Does that make more sense than this? But I think I'm only... If I do that, I'm only freezing out this one. But I think freezing out that one does make sense. And then we just, like... Let's just give this guy a really bad day. We may as well do that. It doesn't do a ton for us, but whatever. Alright, so we can freeze out one of them. Honestly, doing that makes some amount of sense. Alright, so we've only gotten trash once, which obviously hugely better. Alright, doing this is very important because it means that we are guaranteed to not draw into trash next turn. We are going to have a real rough time here, but the other thing is we don't have Doom, which makes that also a lot better. So like, even though we lose a lot of stuff there, we know we aren't drawing trash this turn, and one of them is down. So I think freezing out the... Why not both? That's just way too good to pass up. Okay. Dead. 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 Okay. That went a lot better. Yeah, it was that second turn that killed us, like I said. Absolutely Dread Blast, I think. There were other good cards there, but Dread Blast is just so good. I don't want to do this fight again. I don't care if these cards are good. Like Shadow Blast is actually pretty good, but I don't want to do that fight again. Now we got this event. This is the worst event, but that's okay. Use ICU for the minor value. May as well do that. And then doing a pretty good job of getting damage in. We could get an Arcane Aegis from this fight, which would be pretty good. Just doing that. Avoid taking damage. Aha. Aha! Alright, you lived, but that's one. Bye. Oh, bye. Kind of would like to adapt. No, Arcane Focus is pretty good though. I'll take that. That could be something. We don't need that. I would just take the Void Plating. Could save us at some point. I think this is an introspective turn. That's kind of what I was hoping to see. I think this is just like triple freeze turn. I shouldn't have frozen this one because I could have just evaded it, but we're really not. I think we just do that. I think there's no way we can justify not doing that. We can get the front two with Dread Blast next turn. Get Dread Blasted. You're just gonna die from actually hitting us, which is hilarious. Realizing now that the boss fight might just demolish us. We are not particularly well positioned to this boss fight. I'm going to do that because we are a Frostbite deck, but I think playing Arcane Nova is actually better. Yes, yes, you're very pretty. We're all quite impressed. Bye. I think I would rather have the other thing here. So I want enough to spend a reroll token. I think neither of these are super what we're looking for right now. I think the answer is yes. Ooh, Sanctuary though. I think we need Sanctuary because of this fight. This fight is going to be brutal without a lot of cleanse. It's going to be brutal with a lot of cleanse. It's going to be would be just unwinnable without. And we need an unreasonable amount of cleanse in order to get through this fight. I should have gotten mana out of whatever. Oh, too late now. Nah. It's unfortunate. That'll do. We eat some damage here, but it could be a lot worse. But we are going to need a lot of cleanse. Still. I think we do this first so we can get this juiced. Lose that just immediately, but I think we had to do it. Really stem some of the bleeding. Alright, we still have trash that we want to get rid of, so we didn't find it. I think doing that is worth it. Considering we are already losing health from whatever. And the main advantage for that just like it makes Pierce a lot stronger. So hopefully Pierce will be able to close out the fight next time we draw it. Let's do that. And then we are getting closer to this kill. I think this will get us there. I hope. Not immediately, but like at some point during the turn. Although that may be asking for a bit too much. So we can guarantee the kill. So how many more cards do we have to play here? 2. That is 7 more cards. That is more cards than I think we can realistically play. That is not mana. Okay. Gonna take Lazy Way out. And it does hurt, but we've got the option to grab block from it, which is good. more shrivels than I would like. Oh, that's not saying much since my preferred number of shrivels would, of course, be 0. Hoping to find. That's not enough. Yeah. Explode. But we made it through without restarting on this fight. I really think it's spiritual cleansing at this point. I don't know, like that fight does color things a little bit. Fridge Ritual. We don't have enough Frostbite triggers right now for Fridge Ritual to be good. We would be able to consistently get it to work. This makes that a lot better. We need to cut something here. It might be Phase Grace. I think it's Phase Grace. There is a Frost Prism. But I think we probably want Elemental Breach more. Yeah, these guys just dump a ton of crystallized on you turn 1. Now to get us to the turn, more or less. No, it does actually just get us to the turn. No more or less about it. That's unfortunate. But we can deal with it. They just alternate between 2 different things. Lol. Okay. I fucked up. Should I see what's that better? Way more damage than I would have liked here. Yeah, that's brutal. Voidstalker is not our friend. Yeah, we have to freeze that. Like I said, I think idols are a lot of why this is being such a pain in the ass. Like, we had just chosen to fight idols that are not this obscenely murderous, we'd be in better shape. I'm gonna freeze that with 2 frosts. Oh, we only needed 1. Huh? Would like a cleanse this turn. Hey, Lamau. So now that one will at least die at end of turn. Although. Hey, got him. We're gonna do this, which will not quite kill, but it gets close-ish. And now we have end of turn kill, and we can draw. Yeah. Up. Okay. That was bad, but it could have been worse. And we take the Icy Chains. I think the Scaling Frost application is more valuable to us slightly. That doesn't do much for us. I think this is a trap. Because we're not reshuffling often enough. We're going to go here. This fight promises to be a nightmare. But I'm going to rest once just to be safe. This is where, like, if I was smart, I would plan to bail on this if we lose more than a certain amount of health. Because this fight can be a bit of a mixed bag, but I generally weight it as a fairly difficult fight, I would say. That's a good reason to do that. I think we don't need to freeze out this front one. I don't need freezing out the back one. And we'll just hit it with a combo. There's no point in playing that. Oh, I guess I could have because it does give out Frostbite. I wasn't thinking about that. I should have. In my head, it was just a cleanse. That'll do. We won't actually get hurt here. Or we won't lose any health here, more accurately, which is the important thing as far as I'm concerned. Not a huge fan of that, but manageable. We have not put ourselves in this position where we're like, oh, just kidding. Everything's fine. Oh, whoops. That was unfortunate. And easily avoided. I just had to not be a numpty. No real point in playing that. Arcane for everyone? Should have frozen out actually this trash generation, I wasn't thinking. As I get rid of the shock. And it doesn't hurt. Although if we can freeze out this turn, that would also be pretty nice. So. feel like this has been a pretty good demonstration of the power of Dread Cloud. Do that just for the curse. I do need to find more transform cards. Right now we are a little more dependent than I would like on the Reforged, which we only have one copy of. Sometimes it lines up right. Alright, we explode again. Alright. Hopefully we find cleanse here, not in the world. If we do not, we did. Oh, in case you were curious, it is also not the end of the world if we do find cleanse. And in no case is this an end of the world situation. That's what I'm trying to get across to you. Do that for another detonation. Bye. So that went really well, honestly. Both of these are very good. I think we're at the point where we need to take some additional mana. We're at this awkward point where the weakest part of the deck is, I think, inarguably the Frostbite stuff. Because it's just not doing that much for us. Like, at this point, even if we keep this, like, our deck gets better if we cut the Frost Novas and the Glacial Stairs, I think. We can start by cutting Glacial Stair. We'll see. Oh, I did just see we got Frost stats decrease per turn +2. That may also be where we can cut the Distill Elements. Although, need our mana to be in a good situation before we do that. Just do that for the top, I guess. Like times like this, I'm glad that I don't have whatever. I think I need to freeze twice in order to actually get this freeze to come across. Yeah, I do. Yeah, that was not smart. I take some major damage here. Which unfortunately isn't enough to actually hurt us. We prevented more period from coming up, which is actually pretty nice, considering what turn this was. I can do that right now, just so we get the extra damage. Yeah, because like we're once again in this position where it's like these are like the worst thing we could be doing with our mana. That's just kind of always true. So I think we're transitioning away from being a Frostbite deck. We just did not find good enough payoff soon enough to justify staying in the strategy, I think. It's my excuse anyway, I'm sticking with it. Like, even Raodan just cannot afford to spend 3 mana on playing a card that does nothing but set up, basically. Hey, I was worried that we were going to get the Reforge, but not the ability to actually pay for it. I'm very happy that that's not how that happened. Oh right, it's an AoE powerful stat. I was like, how do they all do the same amount of damage? I knew I froze one of them. Which is the downside to not killing these one at a time, to not like just hammering down one of them. I'm just doing that for now. We have so much incoming. Unfortunately, we have exactly the wrong amount of durability here. Goodbye. So we get perfectly triple hammered. Unfortunately, we do get further arcane crystallize here, so I don't know how much damage it's going to take. I probably should have just gone shield heavier. Yeah, our problem is like our damage output is not fast. All right, we have to ice that back one. Very impolite. Yeah, the problem is like we also don't really have any scaling damage. Like we're still just doing basically the same damage we've been doing. We do get to get rid of that. I guess we have Pierce's scaling damage, just doesn't scale fast enough. I'm impatient. So ideally I'd like to be able to use this here, because you're dying at end of turn anyway. But I think, practically speaking, I need to take this one out. Because we have so much incoming damage this turn, I just cannot afford to not. This is a problem, like we eventually reach a point where we can't actually get value out of it. And we are really racing that doom clock at this point. I don't think this is enough is the problem. Yeah, it's not. We're gonna rest. Okay, we don't get a removal. I mean, that's something. It's not a ton, but it's something. Is that our max health? No, okay, it's 195 is our real max. Okay, so... I think figuring that out makes sense. Periods of Frost is also kind of medium just because like it does fall off so hard. Well, that'll solve that problem. Although it does leave us with kind of an awkward turn otherwise. But it's also not that bad of a turn. We're doing that just because it prevents us from exploding here. Alright, that gets eaten by the purity. That was not the intention. Yeah, what it comes down to is like Frostbite is just not doing anything for us. And we desperately need to be doing anything for us. Not even really anything in particular. We need to be doing something for us, and it is not. And also this time they are going to get the full powerful stack. This is a decent episode length though, so get all into it, that's okay. Do that really safely. And then may as well do that. A lot of this is also like, I should have taken, like, if I had taken the Emperor Rights, would be in better shape. If I had found a Mystical Torrent, would be in better shape. We need access to Transform. It's standard for this difficulty. But yeah, the Frost Scaling here is just so aggressive that we just cannot get real value out of. That was a shit use of that, but like we're not gonna be better. Yeah, the Frost Scaling is just so aggressive that like we really don't have a great way to. Like Frostbite just doesn't do work. Cause like this second freeze on these A2 bosses, you need 10 Frostbite procs to get rid of it, and that is just not happening. You know. Unfortunately, we do get shocked again, which is not good. Considering getting shocked is one of the main drivers of dying. Ugh. And his hand is basically fucked because of whatever. I think that doesn't do much for us, but I don't want to get rid of it. Okay, so we can freeze out either one of these. I think we have to stop the another shock from coming in. Because we aren't quite going to die here. It's going to suck, but we're not going to die. And getting shocked again absolutely would have killed us. I I mean, don't get me wrong, we're still in a real bad situation. But it could be worse. Should've done that first. Do that freeze out, I guess. Yeah, and then once again, this time around, we're not able to stop any of the power from coming out. Oh, I'm an idiot. Like, we're fucked, but I think there was a way for me to not be quite as fucked. And there's no way for us to get 2 freezes out here. Yeah, we can get 1. We get our choice of which one, but we can't get 2. If we do that, we technically lower the damage we take slightly. I don't know if it's enough to save us, but take what we can get, I guess. Yeah, we don't die immediately, but... And that doesn't quite kill us either, but, you know, we are in dire situation. Literally dire. And once again, we're like looking at these 2 cards that do fucking nothing. Like, if these were any other cards in our deck, we'd be in better shape. And we don't get anything for playing them. So that's the run. Obviously, like I did end up telling you, like I picked hard idols. I said I might try this game with easier idols, but nothing about this made me want to play Frostbite again. Is the thing, because well, let's go look at the Frostbite cards again, right? Before I call this off, because like we've got some time left. So. Because here's what it comes down to, right? So you have Frost Nova, and Frost Nova is up to 12 fixed frost to all enemies, right? Like it's 12 fixed frost, 12 damage, but it's spread out over 4 turns. You can speed it up slightly, but that's the function of what you're doing. And that's your common, right? But Frozen Solid is more mana, but it will deal 10 frost to all enemies now. That is now. And that's non-fixed, which is often an upside, right? The other thing with it is, so like, and this is kind of what it comes down to, right? Is that like, the Frostbite, you can't scale that frost, right? Like, with Burn, we have like Burn Mastery. I cannot type. It's called Fire Mastery, isn't it? Yeah. We have Fire Mastery, where it's like, you stack a bunch of Fire Mastery, and now your Burn is doing, 30, 40 damage a tick, and like that is how you use Burn to still kill in-game enemies. With Frostbite, right, you are playing these cards that are not giving you enough frost, and it's not scaling. Like, it's not meaningfully scaling. Like, theoretically, I could be using Glacial Touch, but like even Glacial Touch, right, is 15 frost. Okay. So first of all, I have to set it up. Like, I need to prime that with like, that is like a Frost Nova plus to set it up at Glacial Touch, right? And that is not enough frost to freeze a boss for the second time. And again, that's fixed frost. We cannot increase that unless we just happen to get lucky and we get exactly the items. On the other hand, we could have Frost Wave, or again, we spend 3 mana, we get 10 frost to all enemies, and then we draw 2, which is very comparable to Glacial Touch, but it doesn't need the other setup. I don't think Frostbite is good. I think it's cute, and I think what for me is life patch, for you guys is last patch. When you're fighting depth 3, Frostbite can work, but you're just fighting at such a disadvantage, especially with these 40 card pools where it's like we look at our Frigid Ritual. Realistically, This is competing with what? Mana Eruption, right? So Mana Eruption, we're playing Raodan. Let's say we have a very low amount of we'll say we're at 34 max mana, which is like the base 10, and we have 24 growth, which for Raodan is like nothing. At that point, we're getting 7 mana out of Mana Eruption, right? In order to get 7 mana out of Frigid Ritual, we need to have triggered Frostbite 6 times this turn. Frigid Ritual does not have Retain. If we draw a Frigid Ritual, and we... Oh, and it has to have already been in hand. It's not this turn you have triggered Frostbite. It is this turn you triggered Frostbite with Frigid Ritual in hand. Right? And that's a problem. Because... if you're in a multi-enemy fight and you can like get Frostfire Barrier, that'll get you to that 6 off of 1 card play. But realistically, or like a Death Frost Storm. But if you're in like a 1 or 2 enemy fight, especially, that's a lot of work, to get the 7 mana out of this, which is not that much for an epic mana card. And if you draw this on the wrong turn, or you draw it too late in the turn, it does, again, fucking nothing. And yeah, like, if we look at like generics, like, the other thing is, if you look at this, like, that is 3 epics total in the entire card pool that give us anything to do with Frost. And like Frostfire Barrier, we weren't even running because it's just so medium, right? Elemental Winds is fine, but like, whatever, like that's 6 fixed Frost if you've set it up. Icy Elixir felt good, but again, we didn't need the Frostbite for it. Like, it gives Frostbite, but whatever. And we're at like 5 rares out of our 28, whatever, which means that our odds of finding one after an even fight are relatively low. And so if we pass them up, we may not see them again. Especially like, I don't think Frostfire Blast is really bad, actually. God, that's awful. God, that's so bad. You would have to be running Burn. You'd have to be doing Frostfire deck for this to do anything for you. I don't think it's doing much for you there. Frozen Gust is something now, I think. Death Frost Storm I haven't tried. Like, this seems potentially good, but like, this is, again, like, because you have to trigger the Frostbite 4 times, you have to have just played, because you're looking at your setup, like, you have to have that played the same turn that you've set up, like, Hypothermia or the Raodan card. Click it through to Raodan. Or like the same turn you played, like, Frost Nova. Because otherwise you are just out of luck. Yeah, the Frostbite deck does not have enough pieces, and the big thing to me is that it lacks scaling. You're just playing these cards, they're just not doing the work that you need them to do, and there is no way to scale them to the point where they are doing the work they need to be doing. And I think you can kind of see it with like, our A1 was very good, but then as we get into A2, you immediately start seeing this massive friction where just like, it is hard, or even against like the Demented Mushroom, like it's just hard for us to get kills. Like we were relying on that Pierce, and the Pierce would be so much better if we were a Pure Frost deck. Anyway, that's me done complaining for now. Maybe these cards will look different when you're playing with them. I'm going to try and advocate for some changes in the beta while we're here. Until next time, toodles.